Yeah, we got you.
Awesome.
All right, we have participants hopping on already.
You guys see the screen?
Yep.
We got it. For those of you on already, we'll get started here in just a moment or two. Still, I guess, a minute or so before 10 Pacific and 1 Eastern.
Right.
Good afternoon to our East Coasters. A lot of you in Ohio and other parts of the country. And good morning to those of you in the rest of the world. Or I guess it would be good afternoon if you're in the Central Time Zone.
Right. It's the last day of the month, no matter where you are.
The longest month in the history of months.
I was going to say it's
March.
Like literally the longest 31 days ever.
It feels like March 99th.
It does. It really does. But it's been, in a weird sort of way, man. It's been a really good month. We've just finished the biggest sales month we've ever had.
Dude,
wow, man.
That is awesome.
Not just the biggest March, it's that too, but the biggest month we've ever had.
Wow, buddy.
Wow.
I'm a little blown away by it, to be honest with you.
That's fantastic.
But we're going to take it.
Absolutely. Chalk up that win.
Right.
Put it on the board.
For real.
All right.
Well, should we jump in? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I say we jump in, get going. I'll get a recording out to the folks that can't attend live. And so let's do it. Fred, go ahead and take over, man.
All right, awesome. Well, hey, welcome everybody. My name is Fred Weaver. That's my business partner there in the middle, or at least I think what's the middle of your screen, Kevin Kauffman, and our other partner, Eric Lowry. Really excited to be doing this. So quick little background, and I'm going to turn it over to Eric for a few minutes as well. But Kevin and I, we were hanging out with Eric in Texas, that thing you used to do before March, the middle of March showed up. We were hanging out in Texas the first week in March together, and we just started visiting, and we put out the idea of maybe heading out to Ohio, right, out to your area, Cincinnati area, Eric, and coming and teaching a class. And then we said, you know what? Well, given what's going on right now, not a lot of people traveling, not a lot of non-essential meetings going on, perhaps we could just take our class and put it online. So here we are. And Eric, I'll let you tell a little bit of the story about how we all know each other, and Kevin and I will then jump in and do a little presentation on EXP and how we all work virtually.
Perfect. So thanks for doing this with me today, guys. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. We, I don't even know what year it was that we first met. It was a while ago, right? And I think it originated in a Facebook group you guys run, Next Level Agents. Kevin had made a post about he had an open slot in his coaching, maybe. We probably met before that, but anyway, he posted about that, and I was like, I was looking for a coach. It was like, meant to be almost, and I responded back. He and I jumped on a call, and for me at least, it was, right off the rip, I just knew it was a good fit, and we spent, I don't know, better part of at least 18 months coaching together. And what I really loved about you guys' business and had admired from a distance was how much you ran out like a business, and it was very systems based, and you guys were very purposeful about the way you did things. And that's how we were building our business. You were just, pretty far ahead of us. And so I like to latch on to people that are going fast and going where I want to go, and just like hold on and learn from and grow with. And so I came to Arizona, and then you guys had a big training there, and that's where I met Fred, right? That was the first time we ever met. And, I guess I just have always had a ton of respect for you guys. Somewhere around June of 2018, correct me if I'm wrong about this, Kevin tells me over the phone, hey man, I want you to know we're making a move from our previous brokerage we'd all been at to EXP. And he goes, I think you ought to check it out. And then he said, and what I want you to do is get on a call with Fred and let Fred take you through it. I'm like, totally did it, right? Because I respect you guys and will always listen. But I said no. And I don't know how many times. You guys are awesome. You're good at following up. You're good at staying in touch. And we're all friends, obviously. And we're communicating back and forth. And I don't know how many times I said no, but I said it a bunch of times, I think. And, finally, I just realized man, I'm being stupid here. Like this, I literally, it was right at Thanksgiving time last year. So what, 5-6 months ago now, I messaged Kevin and we went back and forth a couple times, jumped on a call, and like the minute we all three were on a Zoom call, maybe early December. And I think Fred said to me, what's holding you back? Why wouldn't you do this? And I said, dude, I don't have a reason. Like there isn't one. Like it literally, once I stopped and actually opened up my mind, and I feel like I've always been pretty open-minded, but when I really stopped and opened up, I went, holy crap, what am I doing here? Like it was automatic. I had to make the move, had to do it. And so, we obviously, like you said, we're in Houston a few weeks ago, back when things were more normal, and really got to even dig deeper into it. And I think this is just the next natural thing, is because I feel so strongly about what this thing looks like once you get inside of it. I just want, for people who are like-minded, who are looking for big success, I want them to see this. And I want them to see the truth of it, not some BS story other people are telling about this company. And so here we are.
That's awesome, man. Well, thanks for teeing that up, Eric, and sharing that with us, buddy. And let's go ahead and jump in with your permission, if that's all right. Let's go ahead and get this thing rocking and rolling. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to go through an introduction to eXp Realty for roughly a half hour or so. And if time permits, and the folks that have joined us today and are watching live, and those that are watching on recording would like, I may even jump into eXp World and show you a little bit of our virtual world, because we're living in a time right now where access to all things virtual matters, especially functional virtual companies matter. And there are a lot of companies right now that weren't built virtually, that are trying to do their best virtually. But I think eXp is obviously primed and well positioned after 10 years of being a virtual real estate brokerage to support our agents. And hopefully we can demonstrate that today, and maybe even show a little bit of behind the scenes stuff if we have a few extra minutes and folks are willing to do that. So,
absolutely.
All right, Kevin. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. So today we're going to cover, and Eric, obviously, jump in as you see fit. We'll keep it moving, but jump in as you see fit throughout this. But we're going to cover today a little bit about who we are at eXp, our business model. We'll talk about our virtual office, because we do have an office. It's called eXp World. We'll talk about some of the eXp solutions, and then talk about the steps to actually joining eXp. So Kevin, who are we and how did we get here, if you will?
Gosh, that's a good question. Well, why don't we start with how we got here, right? Which is through our founder, Glenn Sanford. Glenn, there's a lot of stuff we can say about Glenn. From a career standpoint, he is a tech guy, right? He did that before real estate. I think it's also worth noting that he sold real estate, and he sold real estate rather recently, right? Not 30 or 50 years ago, but within the last decade and a half, he was actually running a real estate team as well. In his fourth year in real estate, he closed more than $60 million in real estate. He was on the front end of online lead generation, and that was because of his tech background. Something that Glenn believes is that agents and brokers do a lot of the heavy lifting, if you will, when it comes to building a real estate company, right? We're obviously the ones on the ground floor who are out doing the transactions. We're also the ones in a lot of cases where we are we're talking and networking with other agents, and he feels very strongly that we deserve the benefits of being a shareholder or being an owner in a company based on the level of contribution. Not just one person should benefit from ownership, and we'll talk about that later. So in 2009, really because of the last recession, what happened is he decided to restart his real estate business, but this time he had a bigger vision, and his vision was to have a cloud-based or virtual real estate brokerage. So really funny, because we're recording this March 31st, 2020, right? And all of the real estate companies in the United States now are trying, and I do mean trying, to be virtual. And meanwhile, we are just running business as usual, because in 2009, Glenn started the first cloud-based virtual real estate brokerage.
Yeah, very good. So here's a little look at our timeline and kind of how some events have happened. Y'all can read, so I won't go through all of this with you. But again, the company was founded in 2009 in Washington, and then also shortly after Arizona. By 2010, it was in 11 different states. In 2013, EXP became a publicly traded company. So if you've ever heard the term penny stock, that's essentially what EXP was back in 2013. It was a penny stock, right? It was publicly traded, but not worth a whole lot at that point in time. By 2016, EXP had tripled their agent count in a single year, right? So we're starting to get a little bit of attention, but you'll see here in a minute that they still weren't that big, right, in the grand scheme of things. 2018 is when Kevin and I joined the company. A couple short months before joining Kevin, they were uplisted to the NASDAQ exchange, which for folks that aren't familiar with that process, that's a very big accolade. That's a very big piece to solidify. That's not every company known on the planet just fills out a short one-page form and gets uplisted to NASDAQ. So companies with good financial growth and healthy financial companies get uplisted to NASDAQ. And EXP is definitely one of those. And also in 2018, EXP expanded their platform into all 50 U.S. states. I think West Virginia was state number 50 that EXP expanded into in 2018. Here's a look at our agent count. Actually, as you'll notice, this was done as of February 13th, but I believe just as of a week or two ago, we announced that we just passed 27 or maybe even 28,000 agents here at EXP Realty across 50 states and 7 Canadian provinces. That's kind of what you call a hockey stick growth effect there, guys, right? 2017, we're sitting down there at like 2,000 agents basically to start the year off. By 2018, they're closer to about 6,000 plus agents to start the year off. 2019, now all of a sudden there's like 16,000 agents, and here we are, 2020, starting off well above 25,000. So just incredible growth the last 3 years. It was a little bit of EXP in the beginning, and over the last couple of years, this company has grown. Just as a side note, I'll say that, a company's model and what they stand for and what they're up of matters, but what also matters in a real estate company is the people. I think the people are what make a company. And so what you've seen over the past couple of years is that top producer after top producer, agent after respected agent all across the country have joined EXP, and it's really gotten the attention of more people out there in the world.
Absolutely. So here's a look at our core values as a company. Now we're not going to go through each one of these. I'm going to pick out a couple of my favorites, and Fred will probably join in as well on that, and Eric, feel free to jump in. But I'm going to just start with my favorite, which is on the right hand side of the screen there. Collaboration. We're all on the same field. I mean, that's why here we are today. Eric is in Ohio. Fred and I are both in Arizona, and we're business partners. We're collaborating. We all three of us own a piece of this business through the model. So we collaborate at a super high level. We also happen to be aligned together through our revenue share group, which we'll talk about as well. So there's a high level of collaboration. In your traditional real estate model, there's some collaboration, some of it's built in, but within this company, what's baked into it is high level collaboration across the entire company. The other thing that I really love is the transparency. Get things out from behind the curtain. One of my biggest pet peeves is things that happen sort of behind the curtain in bigger companies. It's one of the things that I've always had an issue with other companies in and outside of the real estate world. And so transparency, being able to get things out from behind the curtain and be open and honest with the shareholders, in this case, all of the real estate agents within the company, is super important to me. And those are the couple of things that are my favorite core values. Oh, Fred, we lost your audio. There we go.
Oh, sorry, guys. I said, Eric, if there's one or two that jump out to you want to share with us, go ahead. I love that this company's agile. I've hit time and time again, they're willing to make the changes that are needed to survive and also grow. Most of those changes have been growth focused, but obviously heading into unknown territory here throughout the rest of 2020. We're in a position to survive and grow. And one of the knocks on EXP sometimes is that it won't survive in a down market, which is like the most unfounded knock I've ever heard. But for some reason, that story's been told enough that you tell something enough times, people start believing in it. But at EXP, we were founded in a downturn. We were founded out of the idea of brick and mortar office space was too heavy and it wouldn't sustain itself long term. And so we went virtual. And again, sustainability, one of the other big core values I appreciate about this company. Changes have definitely been made and alterations have been made to make sure this company is more sustainable. And we'll talk a little bit about our financial sustainability. If you've heard that is unhealthy, then you probably should go out and read the fourth quarter 2019 financials and report that just came out. We just had our first quarter where not only cash on hand went up, but also we were net positive, if you will. Even after we wrote off all of our stock that was given out, we still showed a net positive growth. That was our first quarter we've done that. So lots of great things coming with this company. Eric, feel free to jump in if there's anything you want to add.
Yeah, so I would just add, I go along with what Kevin said there with that collaboration piece. These are every one of those things on there are cool, important. Some resonate with some people more than others, obviously. But that collaboration piece for me was just like it's what sealed the deal, I guess you would say. And, I could sit here for 20 minutes and I won't, but I could sit here for 20 minutes and go on and on about what that looks like inside of EXP. But suffice it to say, I've been in real estate for 22 and a half years now, I guess, something like that. And I haven't been in a lot of companies, but I've been in and around a lot of people and a lot of companies. And in addition to the ones I've been in, I have never seen collaboration lived out like it is at EXP. You can say, oh, it's a virtual company and that's cool. For me, that's awesome. It's super important now more than ever. You can talk about all the things that involved, but for me, collaboration was like, that resonated at a really high level for me. More so after I got inside, even than before I came.
One of the smartest things I ever heard you say, Eric, was at EXP, you get to pick your business partners, right? That is true collaboration. And we'll talk about why that is, but there's some alignment reasons here. When you join EXP, you want to align with the right people who are going to support you in the health and growth of your business. And this model is created to compensate and reward people for that collaboration, that partnership, if you will. So I love that stuff. Kevin, I'll let you take it over from here, bud.
Yeah, let's talk about our business model, right? Here's some brands we all recognize, right? We remember Blockbuster, some of us fondly. I was more of a Hollywood video guy myself. I just like the chain link fence and the hot pink. Maybe you did too. I don't know. But Blockbuster, like they were the biggest. They were the biggest ones on the block, right? They came over at one point. They were a $6 billion company, and then along comes this little company called Netflix, and it's funny is the opportunity to buy Netflix for something like $50 million. Well, fast forward, not even 2 decades, Blockbuster ceases to exist with the exception of the one in Oregon, which is really just set up as like a shrine. And Netflix is a $150+ billion company, or at least they were before the stock market got tanked last week. So maybe I should go revise those numbers. And think about companies like Circuit City. Like the reality is Circuit City, you could replace that with any other major retail brick and mortar company, and Amazon has basically replaced them, right? Not basically, like they have replaced Circuit City. And I believe the same is going to be true with traditional real estate brokerages. We're experiencing it right now. What happens is these companies on the right, what they have in common is they don't have the constraints of one physical building. They have an open platform that allows them to work from anywhere to overcome so many different constraints. And in a time like this, like we're experiencing right now, March 2020, what's going on is we know real estate agents and other brokerages that can't get paid from transactions because their brokerages aren't set up to run virtually. They can't get to the education they would normally have because they're not set up virtually. Whereas these companies on the right remove the constraints of a physical world to still deliver goods in a physical world. And that's where things are going. And that's why these companies are listed here on the right-hand side. And it's my belief that we will see more and more companies move to a virtual platform.
Yeah, I'll also add, not on this list, right, though, is like cab companies, right, Kevin? Like that was, like they're the brick and mortar of vehicles, right? And they've been replaced by Uber and Lyft. And the thing is, if you look at some of these companies on the right, what you would say to yourself, if you were being honest, is most of these companies were weird to you at first. It was weird to watch a video on your TV and stream it when you had been used to popping the VHS into your VCR, right? Like it was weird to buy something from Amazon and have it dropped at your door. It was weird, and you were told by your parents to never get in the car of a stranger, yet nowadays you do it all the time and hop in an Uber and a Lyft, right? So I also add that to say that there's a bit of weirdness when innovation is happening, and then there's an adjustment period where then everybody sort of accepts it. And I think, fortunately or unfortunately, we're in a time right now where virtual is being a little more accepted in our world. Obviously, the circumstances behind why it's being accepted, that's a very unfortunate situation. But there's also some very good that's going to come out of this situation and circumstance, which is people are going to realize that, there's a lot more that can be done virtually than they ever thought possible when they're constrained to only being able to do business this way. So I just want to add that in there as well.
Can I just jump in there real quick and just add one thing?
Yeah.
So 2.5 weeks ago, we closed our team office, not permanently, of course, but we just closed it, meaning we sent everybody go home, work from home. It was before the state mandated it, but we knew it was the right thing to do. And we never skipped a beat because of all of this virtual. Literally that next Monday, we're doing coaching one-on-one in a conference room in EXP World. And the funny part was yesterday was Monday, I think. It was. I think. But one of my guys said to me in one-on-one coaching, he said, do you and Lisa ever talk about how amazing it was that we made this move at this time? He didn't say the word lucky, but how he said it was like almost God intended for us to do this at this time, because it just totally prepared us where we didn't miss a beat. And it was just interesting for me to hear it from him as he was seeing how we just kept going. Another one of my guys had a closing yesterday, and by the way, we got the distribution email. I think it was 2.5 or 3 hours after the closing, saying the money was being transmitted. Not, oh, how are we going to cut the check, or where's the check go, or who's going to open the office, or 2.5 hours later, the money's been pushed. It was amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff. And a lot of this happens, right, Eric, because we're one brokerage, we're not a franchise, we're able to do all this under one umbrella. That's one of the other things I appreciate about this company, as you can see on the screen, is we don't have that whole franchise system where it's locally confined and this brokerage is okay, but this one's not, even though they have the same name on the door. We're a cloud campus environment. All our training's online, all our support's online. We collaborate online. And then we additionally have a lot of equity opportunities that we'll talk about. So that's one of my other favorite things is Kevin knows I hate red tape and bureaucracy. And I always felt like in a franchise system that I was in 2 franchise real estate systems before EXP, that there was a lot of that, right? There were the favorite franchises and the favorite territories and the favorite this and that. And then the fries, as Kevin would say, did not taste the same at every single franchise, right? Some of them were too salted, some of them were overcooked, some of them didn't know how to work the fryer at all. At EXP, you've got one company under one roof delivering the same set of services with consistency across the board, which is one of the things I appreciate the most.
Yep. Absolutely. So let's talk about the cloud campus environment. I mean, here's some of the stuff you get. No desk fees, right? You can literally work from everywhere, as evidenced by us working right now. Cut the overhead brick and mortar costs. No expensive leases means the company can invest in agent support and technology. It means it can make it through tough times, right? One of the favorite questions we get. Paperless transactions, getting instant access to training and support. Such a big advantage when you are in a cloud campus environment. And speaking of that training, I mean, we've got more than 50 hours of live training each week, right? I thought I saw that we're up over 70 hours this week, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
Which is huge. So listen, some people are doing a lot of live training right now. I've seen some calendars. They're pushing some live streams out, a couple hours here, a couple hours there. EXP does 50 hours minimum. Let that sink in every single week. And it's not just a certain class instructor. It is from other agents, right? It's on things like how to get listings and how to just close more deals, lead gen, social media, CRM, technology tools, all the different classes that we've got going on. Not to mention, you can always tap into the archive of recorded sessions. So tons of advantages on the training platform here within EXP Realty.
Yeah, just as a quick offer, if you're interested in exploring our training, want to actually take part in our world, our virtual world, EXP World, Eric, Kevin, or myself can get you a guest pass. We're happy to do that. There's actually a 60-day guest pass that's coming out right now because we recognize the need that a lot of people are at home and their brokerages are unable to provide the type of training that they may need to survive or at least grow and maintain their business through this particular downturn we're going through. So if you're interested in not only getting maybe a 2-week pass, but inquiring about one of those 60-day guest passes into EXP World, let Kevin or Eric or myself know, and be happy to put that request in here for you real soon. Also, one of the things I love is real-time support is at our fingertips. So Kevin, I know this is my experience anyway. We came out of Keller Williams where they had called market center administrators. Like, they were great people, right? But sometimes that person would be out of the office, and guess what? Nobody else in the office knew how to do their job, right? So you'd have to wait till they were back from their long 3-day vacation, or, you know, if unfortunately it was a 3-day weekend and they also happened to be a vacation on top of that, or they were at a major event, like, you sometimes would wait 4, 5, 6 business days to get a question answered or a check cut to you. Now, I know that's not the case for everywhere, but what I love about EXP is 11 hours a day, I can go into EXP World Monday through Friday and talk to somebody, a live person. And I'm not relying on like one person who knows how to do payment processing, or one person in accounting, or one person in technology support, or one person in onboarding. Like, I literally have multiple people that are cross-trained and know how to support agents across our platform inside EXP World. And these are real humans. Like, yes, you talk to their little avatar, it's a little weird, but they're a real human on the backside of that computer just like you are, and they're all a part of EXP. I believe we have somewhere in the ballpark of 600 to 700 full-time EXP employees that support our 27,000 plus agents inside of EXP World. So pretty cool stuff. We also have international collaboration. So as we mentioned, all 50 states, 7 Canadian provinces, also in the UK and also in Australia now as well. Some of our international growth has just started to kick off. So we've got people sharing best practices from literally all over the world right now. There you go. There's a picture for you. I didn't realize that was there, Kevin. All right, there you have it. Let's talk a little bit, Kevin, about the equity opportunities.
Before you go on, I just want to throw out one thing back to that, back to the support real quick. Just a quick story of how that can be so amazingly easy. Our first week at EXP, I have a new webcam on my computer at my office, and I go into EXP World and I can't talk to people. The mic is not live in EXP World for some reason. I have no idea why. And like, I'm a really good computer user. I am not Joe Tech, right? Like, I can't get in there and change stuff. I probably could and make it worse. I literally walked into the tech outpost. There was no one in there at the moment, meaning no other agents in front of me. I walk up to a guy's desk, sat down. I can't talk to him, so I'm texting, I'm typing in the text box, and he's talking back to me. He literally, in about 2 minutes, dialed into my computer. I say dialed, he logged into my computer somehow and fixed it, and I was on my way. Literally 2 minutes. It wasn't even an EXP tech thing. It was literally my computer, but he just logged in, jumped in, and fixed it. So that support stuff, I've used it already, and it's super awesome.
Yeah, that's the power of that kind of support.
Yep.
Let's talk about the equity opportunities. So agents can become shareholders in eXp Realty, right? If you want to look up the stock symbol, it's EXPI. It's listed on the NASDAQ. There's 3 different ways here. Number 1 is the sustainable equity plan. That is where, as agents, you can earn shares when you close your first transaction, when you pay a full cap, which is $16,000, and we'll talk about more here in a moment. You can also earn shares when an agent you sponsor or an agent you refer to the company closes their first transaction. So as an example, Eric joined the company in the last couple months. When he closed his first transaction, I received stock for that. So that's the sustainable equity plan. He also received stock for that. The Icon Agent Award, something I just received officially today, which is where I get to get up to my entire cap, $16,000 in stock. I've now earned it 2 years in a row. So for 2 years in a row, I paid the company a $16,000 cap and received back over $16,000. Actually, it's now over $16,000 worth of stock because of the growth in the stock price. Imagine that money grows, whereas the money I paid them is stagnant. And then there's the agent equity program. Enrolled, you can enroll to be paid 5% of every transaction of your commission to go to buy stock at a 10% discount. So quick example, you close a deal. If you're enrolled in the agent equity program, 5% of your commission, let's say the commission was $10,000. What would that be? $500, right? If I'm doing my math correctly in my head. So they would withhold $500. Now, 5% is less than a lot of companies pay in royalty. So think about it from that perspective. It's a discount on royalty, except you pay this royalty to yourself. So they withhold 5% of my commission. And then what happens is at the end of the month, I get to buy stock at a 10% discount with that. So I'm already going to be up 10% from the very get-go of money I didn't even have to, like I never had to see it. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I know a lot of real estate agents that have a hard time saving money. They have a hard time putting away for retirement. It's just kind of the nature of the beast when it comes to our industry. This is an easy way. Fred and I were actually looking through our stock accounts yesterday. Between these 3 different equity opportunities, we have amassed a good amount. Like I won't say the amount. It's almost obscene of stock in the company that some of it we could go turn around and sell tomorrow. Some of it has to continue to age and invest. But we've got a lot of it that for doing the exact same thing we were doing at the previous company.
Yeah, I would tell you this. I underestimated the impact, or however you want to say it, that this would have on my agents, because they each got stock when they had their first closing at EXP. And I was amazed how like they were into it. Like, there was a big deal to them, right? And almost all of them, I don't want to say all of them because I'm not certain of that, but almost all of them were opted into the equity program where they're buying stock at that discounted price through all their commissions. So it's like, I wouldn't underestimate this as a thing. It's a big deal to people.
Yeah, can you guys hear me as well? Cool. I just want to also add, like, if you're an agent out there who's closing roughly 30 deals a year, or maybe you're an agent that does 17, 18, $20 million worth of sales volume, like, you absolutely want to learn more about the Icon Agent Award Program, because I've never seen a better compensation program for agents that close 30 or so deals a year, or are doing, 18, $20 million in sales volume on their own. Literally, the company is literally just paying you to be here. Like, that's what it feels like. And I'm happy to clarify that statement and walk you through numbers. And if you want a pro forma to see how all that plays out, we're happy to get into the details on that. You can also go Google EXP Icon Agent, and one of the very top results will be a page of EXP that has all the parameters for how you earn that Icon Agent Award Program. But the point is, there's a lot of ways to earn stock. I just think more agents that are closing 30 or more deals a year, doing 18, 20 million in volume, should be at EXP. They probably just don't know they could almost be here for free, or be in a paid position where the company would essentially pay them to be here. It's pretty great stuff. We also have something, guys, called our AAC. It's 12 agents across the country, made up of all different production levels and backgrounds, that are a voice, if you will, for the company, to make sure that the company's voice is heard. This is a really cool thing that the company does. I believe that agents can actually apply to be on this particular council. And again, they do a really good job of not only getting like the senior agent who's been in the business 22 years, like an Eric Lowry, but they also grab agents who've only been in the business for 12 or less months, right? To make sure you have a really good cumulative voice for the company as a whole. So I really respect that. Kevin, I think probably one of the more talked about things at EXP is probably, stock is up there, but revenue share is as well. And here's the deal. I think revenue share is amazing. I think you think it's amazing. I think Eric thinks it's amazing. But I want to just say from the start here, before we get into this, that revenue share is not the only reason to join this company. In fact, some people will run around at EXP agents themselves and they just talk about revenue share. Like, that's their only thing. I was very turned off by this company early on, because I felt like there were some people that wanted Kevin and I to come over to the company who wanted to go retire on a beach and make money on our production through revenue share. And that just didn't feel really good. It wasn't like they wanted us to be business partners with them, Eric, and they wanted to collaborate together, help each other, succeed more. It felt like they wanted to make money off of me. And if you've ever had that feeling in a conversation or a relationship, it doesn't feel real good. So I just want to say that off the top. What EXP does is quite phenomenal. Because we're not a franchise, because we don't have brick and mortar, we sort of operate like a team, if you could think about it that way. We bring revenue in every single month, right? Agents pay the company a split, and then we give 50% of that revenue back to the agents that helped grow the company. Sounds kind of like a team, right? Like, on a team, a lot of times a buyer's agent, like they do a commission check and 50% of it goes back to the company or the team, and they get to keep 50. Well, that's kind of what it's like here at EXP. 50% of our revenue gets paid back out through a plan called revenue share. to make sure that the agents that helped grow this company are compensated for growing it. We don't have paid representatives in every state that grow the company. We don't have people that sit in big fancy offices that are charged with getting on the phones and setting appointments. This company is growing at the rapid pace it's growing because other agents are passionate about it and they're telling their peers about it. Right, Kevin?
Yep, that's exactly how it is, and it's so powerful because what this does is it creates even more so the level of people working together and collaborating at the highest of levels. Even though it's a relatively small dollar amount, what happens is you've got everybody bought into everybody else's success, and that creates something really special.
Yeah. Well, it's a small dollar amount per one transaction, but when you bring an agent over that's closing multiple and then they potentially bring some agents over, that money starts adding up and it becomes very significant when you compare it to models like Keller Williams profit share program as an example.
The reality is, and if you want to go to the next slide, you can. What happens is you start to see as agents grow, and especially as agents at eXp Realty who come over and see the power in revenue share, what they're seeing is the same thing that billionaires like Warren Buffett and Gary Keller have seen, which is, hey, if I have a lot of agents and I only get a little tiny sliver from a whole lot of agents, this money grows at a big rate, right? So there's a reason why billionaires own real estate companies and not just real estate. So revenue share plan, we're not going to go all the way through it. What I want you to know is the basics here. There are 7 tiers or 7 different levels that you can be paid from, meaning, as an example, Fred is my sponsor at eXp Realty. So I am in his tier 1. Eric is I am Eric's sponsor. I referred Eric to the company. So he's in my tier 1, which means he's in Fred's tier 2. And as you can see, it goes 7 levels deep. I won't get all the way into this. Just know if you want more information on this, Fred, Eric, and I are all happy to individually go through with you and detail out how this program works. It's kind of, it can take a few passes through, so I don't want to try to do this on this webinar, but just know this, you can get paid through 7 different levels, and it grows and grows and grows and can become a really big income source, which is why billionaires love owning real estate companies.
Yeah, I won't get into the math, right, Kevin? But I think it matters. I'll give like 1 or 2 numbers, which is to say, Kevin, I have the opportunity when you sell real estate over a year to earn up to $2,800 off of your real estate sales. When Eric does real estate sales, I have the opportunity to earn up to $3,200 because he's in my tier 2, right? And so those numbers may or may not seem like a lot, but as Eric's team then sells real estate, I also make some money off of Eric's team, as do you, Kevin, right? So that starts to add up. As Eric's team has a cousin in Florida or whatever that sells real estate, and one of Eric's buyer's agents starts talking to the cousin about EXP and they come on board. Now Eric's buyer's agent's making money. Eric's making a little bit of money. You're making a little money, Kevin. I'm making a little bit of money, right? So we're all compensated. That's that 7-level plan. What I think is important for people to know is that revenue share really fills in the dips, right? Because a lot of agents' businesses look like this. Oh, I had a great month. Oh, I had a really, really bad month. Oh, I had a great month. I had a really, really bad month, right? So if you can talk to other agents about your excitement level and refer them to a webinar like this to share the EXP message with people, you can put yourself in a position to get residual money that's showing up. I won't call it passive, but I'll call it residual, right? It's money that's showing up for some effort that you did a long time ago, and it happens every single year. So Kevin, you've been at the company now for almost 2 years. I've been paid essentially $2,800 2 years in a row, and you're about to uncap at the company, start paying the company again, which means that come the summer, they're going to start paying me again from you, right? So every single year that keeps adding up. We have agents, Kevin, and I think it's important to tell that their car payments are being made because of revenue share. We have other agents whose car payments and mortgages every single month are paid because of revenue share. We have agents whose car payments and mortgages and their investment property that they just bought, all that's being paid for because of revenue share, right? So this numbers and this math can get really big very quickly. Again, it's not the only reason people join EXP, but it is one other really sticky thing that keeps people at EXP for a long time, is the ability to earn revenue in different ways.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is a rising tide should rise all ships, not just Gary's and Warren's.
Yeah. Hey, could I add one thing there that I didn't understand before I got in here? And I think it's a particular point that I'll call genius, really. And that is, I mean, I was in a company that did the profit share thing, as you guys were. And, you know, to me, that never turned into anything. You have to have profit to get profit share. But in here with EXP's revenue share plan, tier one, I got that, right? Like I'm in Kevin's tier one. That's awesome, you know, for him. And I mean, it's cool with me too. I chose him, right? I chose you guys. And the genius part of it though is tier two is more valuable to Kevin, meaning the people under me are more important to Kevin than, and so it really enhances his win-win of him helping me grow because you know it incents people to help other people as opposed to just be what's in it for me. I guess I don't know if I said that right, but I just, that part I didn't get. So you know, for me now, I look at it and go, all the people that join and that we refer to the company, like there's a huge motivation for me to help them grow their revenue share.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
It does. There's never a situation, what you're trying to say, where Kevin would want to compete with you on a recruit because that person's actually more financially valuable in his level 2 than level 1.
Right.
So it creates partnership and collaboration at a really deep level. Also, Eric, I just want to congratulate you, man. If I saw your Facebook post correct the other day, your first month at EXP in revenue share, you made more than the previous 6 months you had made at your former company, Keller Williams Profit Share Program. So
and there's actually full disclosure. I should have edited that post. And I thought about it and I didn't. It's true. I made more in my first month of revenue share than the previous 6 months at that profit share company. But that first month at EXP, half our closings were at the old company still.
Wow, man. Well, I can't wait for your next month's of revenue share, buddy.
It was artificially low, I guess is what I'm saying, right? Yeah, it was amazing. Really.
I love it. All right, guys, let's talk about EXP World. If we have a couple minutes, I'll do a demo. If not, I'll tell you where you can watch one. I've recorded some videos. So EXP World is our online office space. So people say, you don't have an office. Yeah, we do. It's just on our computer. Now, if you're one of those people where you don't enjoy working from your house every single day or your bedroom, like you can see behind me here, then you can get out when you're not quarantined and we're not in the current day and age we're in, and you can join one of the Regus office suites. Regus is the world's largest shared office suite. They have 3,000 locations worldwide. As an example, in the Phoenix area, there's almost 30 locations that you can jump into and work from. These are professional places to work from. They don't cost you any money to go and work from one of their business lounges. They've got free coffee, free drinks, and one of the best parts of Regus is that you can actually meet people that don't sell real estate. So sometimes people say, well, I miss my real estate office, you know, where I got to hang out with people. I'm like, well, we collaborate other places. Wouldn't it be cool if you could work from an office where you could meet professionals that don't sell real estate and they might actually want to do business with you? When was the last time you got business from your real estate office? It doesn't happen. You all sell real estate. You're not going to use each other to buy or sell a house, but you start working from a Regus office and meeting other people. And like our friend Aaron, Kevin, he was telling me he's signed 5 clients and closed 3 transactions in the last 12 months just from working from a shared office suite office, right? He goes out of his way to leave his house and go to a shared office and meet other people. Like, what a cool thing. But of course, as I mentioned, EXP World's our cloud office. We log into it from our computer. We have these cool little guys that Kevin mistakenly calls emojis. They're actually called avatars. You can dress yours up. It really looks nice and finesse and fit. You'll never gain a pound in EXP World. You can have a full head of hair. You can grow a beard if you want, which, you know, Kevin's demoing for you in real life here right now. Specialized departments, trainings going on. As Eric mentioned, his team met in a conference room the other day for their team meeting. So lots and lots of cool places that we can work, right? You get live instant support. Eric already mentioned it. He walked right into the tech department last week and got some support. If there had been somebody in front of you, Eric, all you'd have done is grabbed a little ticket and they'd have transported your little avatar into the room when they were ready to help you. And it's a private conversation. There's parts of the EXP world where people can't hear what you're saying. You're in a little private, you know, if you will, buffered sound room where you can have a private conversation with other people. So it's really, really cool technology. I also want to mention that EXP purchased and now owns that technology. At one time, we used to license it from a company called Verbella, but we actually bought Verbella with cash because we're not poor, unlike what a lot of people like to say about EXP. We don't have any money. We bought that company with all cash in 2019, and we now own Verbella. So EXP World Holdings, our parent company, EXPI, actually has some additional revenue streams, if you will, beyond just real estate agents' revenue and income. We have a whole thing. You can go look at Virbela. Maybe you know a family or friend who's trying to run their business right now and they're struggling virtually. Have them go check out Virbela. You can rent an office, or you can run your business off of Virbela, which is basically EXP World. So Kevin, I'm going to let you speak about this. We've got a lot of tools for productive agents. I will just give you this one stat right now. NAR, and I think this is low, but NAR estimates that somewhere around a third of all realtors are uninsured at some point during any given year. So EXP a little while ago rolled out health insurance, and admittedly, I laughed at it. I was like, there's no way that's going to be good. That's just a play to help us recruit more agents. So I went there initially. I got to admit it. I went down the negative path. But Kevin, you had a pretty good experience with this.
Well, the truth is that Eric pinged me about health insurance, and I was like, dude, you don't care about health insurance, but fine, I'll go find out. And what happened is I did go find out, and I went, oh, that's pretty cool. And I'm just going to fast forward to this. Number one is it's awesome. If you want the information, we'll give you the links. You can go straight to it. In fact, it's there at the bottom. expagenthealthcare.com is the URL. I'm just going to tell you this. I have a family of 4. I have a wife. I have 2 small children. I am saving over $700 a month. Put that in the bank. Saving over $700 a month over what I've been paying. I used to be with United Healthcare for the last couple of years, saving over $700 a month. So when I look at the savings of eXp Realty, which, yeah, you and I saved some money over KW, not a lot, but we saved some, right? But when I just look at the save, if I now factor this in, forget about the revenue share, forget about the stock. If I just factor in the cash that I'm now keeping because I'm affiliated with eXp Realty, it's an additional, what is that, $8,500 a year, more than half a cap. Boom. That's all I can say about that. Great coverage. I have not missed a beat. Coverage has been great, and saving over $700 a month. I'll take it.
Yeah, and Kevin, when this rolled out, there was potentially a couple states where it wasn't active in, but I think you just confirmed the other day it's active in all 50 states. Is that correct?
I'm not sure if it's all 50 because I don't remember how many they weren't active in, but there was one state in particular that I knew it wasn't, which was Washington, and it is now active in Washington. There were some regulatory things with the state, not with the companies, but with the state. But now that that is taken care of. So it's probably all but one state is my guess, but we could double check at expagenthealthcare.com.
That's awesome. Cool. I just love that, man. So many more opportunities. Eric, anything you wanted to add there?
I was just the one thing I would add was just this past week, so it's not in any of your slides, but eXp announced an additional healthcare benefit of Teledoc. You can enroll in Teledoc, which is telemedicine, right? So you don't have to go to the doctor. You can get on one on your phone. $9 a month, which is a hugely discounted price for eXp agents. And I signed up for it that day. It's just no way that isn't a good deal to be able to, especially in today's world where who wants to go to the doctor, but to be able to just do it remotely like that, it's a future of medicine like that anyway. So anyway, that was it.
Love it. Yeah, I saw that. Thanks for bringing that up. It's funny too, because I don't know, you guys are probably getting like barraged with, COVID-19 emails the last couple of weeks, and more, like my dentist is now telemedicine. If you need, like I'm just seeing more people going that direction, and eXp, already there, obviously. So
Yep.
Cool stuff.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about some of our technology solutions, Kevin. So eXp Enterprise is basically, it's our proprietary homepage, if you will. I consider it a homepage because it's it's opened every morning, and one of my browsers and my bookmarks. Like I go inside of it, I can see my agent details, my commission and cap status. I can review my stock and equity awards. I can get real-time reports. I can, it has the links to everything I need. If I forgot, how to find the training calendar, it's in there. If I'm not sure how to give a guest pass out at eXp World, that's in there. So it's got all that good stuff, right? SkySlope is our transaction management system. It's a paperless system. It's used by many of the top brokerages around the country. Dotloop and SkySlope are kind of the 1 and 2, if you will, in this space. Sign documents digitally, run your business with top security features. It's also how our brokers communicate with us, right? So we upload documents into SkySlope, and then our broker sends out emails, and green is good, red's like, hey, you're missing something, and another color is like optional. So it's how we make sure we get paid on time. It's how your agent got paid on time yesterday, right, Eric? They made sure that your TCs and your team made sure all the documents were uploaded correctly, and the DA was done correctly, the disbursement authorization, and that's how they got paid instantly at closing with money being deposited into their account. So it's some really cool stuff.
Yeah, Workplace by Facebook. So Workplace is an easy to use collaboration platform. Literally, it's just like Facebook, guys. So everybody knows how to log into Facebook, because in fact, that was the only place that we posted this class was at Facebook. So if you're on this, it's on Face. You know what Facebook is, right? So, but it's built for the world of work. You can discuss topics and projects. There's different groups, just like on Facebook, for open houses or state-specific groups or masterminds on how to use things like the next thing, CRM and lead gen, KV Core, marketing and branding, to broadcast live videos, communicate with your team and other people. I was communicating with one of the regional vice presidents just before this meeting started on a question I had, and it's just boom. It's like instant messenger, except it's workplace by Facebook. So it looks like Facebook, except it's just the eXp Realty folks in this case. So pretty awesome collaboration tool. And then CRM and lead gen. So agents and teams get to use eXp provided tools that actually work today. They're already up and running. We happen to use a company called KV Core, or KV Core used to be called Conversion. Allows you to have powerful lead gen platforms, allows you to run ad spend if you'd like without having to have a huge budget of a couple $1,000s. And so it's absolutely one of the best in class CRM and lead gens that you can get, and it's included in your normal cost at eXp Realty. And then we've got, after that, we've got marketing and branding. If we can get the slides to work, I don't know if we can.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I think if you go buy KV Core off the street, it costs you like $400 to $600 a month, like for the package that eXp gives you for free. So eXp costs $85 a month to be here, and gives you access to save hundreds a month on your healthcare, and gives you a CRM amongst lots of other things.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we've got marketing and branding. So we won't go into this too much, but I'll just tell you this. This is a way to very easily, on the fly, create marketing material, whether we're talking about something for a website, something for print, something that you want to mail, doesn't matter, business cards, signs, you name it. It can be all generated and created within minutes. And I do mean minutes, like 1, 2, 3 minutes, sent to your computer or sent to a printer, local or national, or just in your home or in your office, whatever that looks like. So there you go.
Yeah. Obviously, this is a company that a lot of people are talking about. You can read through that later. A lot more people are starting to talk about us given our fourth quarter earnings report that we just released a few weeks ago. So Kevin, let's talk a little bit about the fee structure. Everybody wants to know about that. So first of all, there's no desk fees at eXp. There's no royalty fees at eXp, right? That's some good stuff there. We have an 80-20 commission split. So as an example, if I'm due a $10,000 commission split, I keep $8,000 and I pay $2,000 back to eXp. That's my company dollar, or my commission split, and that caps at $16,000 a year. So if I had 8 $10,000 commission checks or transactions in a year, then I would cap, and after that, I would not have to continue to pay that 20% split. This is a very nice, in my opinion, aggressive split when you compare it to companies like the company we came from, Keller Williams. They tout themselves to 70-30, but then they have a royalty fee of 6%. So 64-36 versus 80-20, it matters, especially when you run a team, right, Eric? You've got buyer's agents and things like that. Like, they're already paying a team split, and then they got to pay the brokerage split. So 64-36 versus 80-20, it's extra money in those agents' pockets, especially new agents who are trying to get their business off of the ground. After you cap at eXp, there is a transaction fee that comes into play. It's $250 per transaction, but you actually like that if you're an agent that does 30 or so transactions a year, because when you pay $5,000 in transaction fees plus you cap, you therefore then earn the Icon Agent Award. So that's why we say about 30 transactions a year. Normally takes most people about 10 transactions to cap, another 20 after that of transaction fees. They become an Icon agent that gets that big stock award. $149 to join eXp. That also includes your first month's fee of $85 a month. After your first month, there's an $85 per month cloud brokerage fee. Per transaction, there's a $25 broker review fee and a $40 risk management fee. So those are only paid when you do a closing. Those are pretty small in the grand scheme of things. If Kevin and I are splitting a file 50-50, he gets $5,000 of the 10 commission. I get $5,000. He'd pay $1,250 of the broker review fee. I'd pay $1,250. He'd pay $20 risk management. I'd pay $20. And the risk management is really like an E&O, errors and omissions, and it does cap at $500 per agent per year. So I want to make sure I mention that.
Yeah, we won't go into this slide too much, but here's the deal: production matters. I think one of the still misnomers out there is that there's not a lot of high producing real estate teams, but as you've just seen, this company is set up to benefit and to reward productivity. It's set up to benefit and to reward productive agents and agents who give back, agents who help other agents, and so that's just that's that piece there. So there
Yeah.
we go.
Well, on that note, I think I'm running out of time to probably do a lot of live demos, but if you guys will give me 1 second, I will pull up a website real quick and I'll show it to people where they can find some information. How's that sound?
Perfect.
So I'm going to put this in the chat too. If you want to click the link, or if you're on a phone or a computer, now'd be a great time to just click that link so it's saved on your computer. This is a little website that Kevin and I built called kevinandfred.com. If you go to /exp/exploring, there's a bunch of info. Number one, if you want to watch a little shorter version of this video that I filmed back in January, you can click this link. Brent Gobe does another really great introduction to EXP that you can watch here that's about 35 minutes long. We've got some FAQ videos and written FAQs and top 35 things. But what I want to show you is down here, we've got some preview the tech behind EXP. So as an example, we talked about EXP Enterprise, our proprietary sort of homepage. If you want to see what that looks like, click here. If you want to see what a sample training calendar from a few months back or maybe a year back when I filmed this looks like, right here. If you want to actually experience what does EXP World look like and how do I get support and, you know, kind of see what that whole avatar things looks like, you can click right there. This is our EXP Marketing Center where Kevin mentioned you can create logos and signs and all that. And then EXP Workplace and how we connect with other people and understanding that's where open houses are shared. That's where information from your broker comes down. There's a lot of great information. So highly encourage you to come in here, maybe spend a couple minutes here after we're done and watch a couple of these videos and get you a little bit of a better sense of what's going on at EXP behind the scenes. I think you'd find that to be pretty valuable.
Right on. All right, Eric, did we miss anything today?
Man, I don't think so. That was awesome. Thanks for doing that, guys. I don't think anything. I can't think of anything that we didn't cover.
All right, guys. Well, we have another minute or two that we could stay on and ask any questions. If there are anybody, if anybody has a question that you would like answered now, feel free to just type it into the Q&A or the chat feature, and we'll grab those questions. And if not, just reach out to the person if you'd feel more comfortable asking that question offline. Reach out to whoever invited you here. Ask them for further information on whatever questions you have. I know myself, I speak for myself, I speak for Fred and for Eric in saying that we're more than happy to go in depth with you, answer any questions, and help you out the best way that we can.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah. I just want to say I appreciate your guys' time today. And Eric, I think one of the other things we promised is we'd get out a little recording for people on some best practices for working remotely. So if you registered today and you want that information, we will get that out to you here shortly. If you're watching a recording and you'd like a copy of that as well, reach out to Eric or Kevin and myself, and we will do that pretty good. Somebody just asked a question, Kevin, around if you closed about 30 units, what would I think the annual cost be is the question there. What we should probably do for you, and I can say your name, but I'll just keep you ambiguous for now in case you don't want others to know who you are. Kevin or I'll reach out to you and get you that information. It won't take us long. We can put a little pro forma together and compare it to your current brokerage, and we can show you, hey, here's what your cost structure would look like. Here's the monthly fees. Here's what the transaction fee is. Here's what the risk management E&O fee is. Here's how much you're going to pay in cap. Here's how much you're going to pay in transaction fee. And then also help you understand, here's what you're going to get back in stock and things like that. And you can, of course, compare that to your current brokerage's operation. So happy to do that for anyone on the call that wants to type in the comment box, but happy to do that for you.
Yeah, we'll get that to you. Pretty easy to do. I could even get that to you today. So just message me on Facebook and I'll get that to you. All right. Any last questions before we run, guys? All right. I think we're set. Eric, thanks for your time today. Fred, I'll talk to you later, unfortunately. And we'll talk to anybody else. You got questions, just reach out to us soon. I'll get a recording of this out to you guys who attended as well, probably within about 24 hours. Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great one, guys. Stay safe. Talk to you soon.
Bye.